Hey everybody, it's Chris. I guess it's been like a month since I've actually done a video about Jay. The last video I did wasn't really mine, it was more Allison's, so I did it for her. I put it on there and it was just a fun thing. And I'm not afraid to put on a giraffe pair of pajamas and be a goofball for my kids. Anyway, a little update, and then I'll probably do another video later on. And I want to try to get on a schedule where I do something more like on a normal basis and not wait a month before I do another one. Let's see, Jay's been going to therapy since February. I think it was beginning of February. It was supposed to be just for Jay, and the first couple visits I was in there just so I could give background and provide some more information. And it's kind of morphed into family therapy, which is great because I'm learning more about Jay. And I'm learning way more about myself and what Jay thinks of me as a parent and where I kind of dropped the ball when Jay was little. I've learned about Jay. We haven't really gotten to the trans thing because his therapist isn't really familiar with that yet. But what we've talked about a lot is how I lecture, and how when Jay starts to hear me lecture, he just kind of zones me out. And I've learned to pick up on his body language when that happens. And I try to make myself more conscious of like when I start getting on a roll and I just won't shut up and I keep harping on it. Also, I have learned about how to identify Jay's anxiety, and that when I feel we might be in a condition or a situation where his anxiety is going to kick in, I'll keep checking in, just like, hey, are you okay? Do you want to leave? Do you need to get some air? Are you sure you're all right? Because Jay still won't come out and say, yeah, I need to get out of here or whatever. It takes a lot for him to do it. We were at the Mall of America, and we started out at IKEA, and it was pretty busy. This was on a Saturday, I think. And it was pretty busy. So I was watching Jay, and I said, we were going to the Mall of America after that, which is basically across the parking lot. And I said, okay, are you sure you want to do that? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, because, IKEA was pretty busy. It was a cold day, so everybody was there. So we got to the mall, and we were going to Long John Silver's to get hush puppies. And because that's one of Jay's favorite things. So we went to the food court, and there had to be about 2.5 million people in that food court. And not only was Jay's anxiety off the charts, but mine was getting up there too. And so we got our food, and we were looking around for a place to sit and couldn't find a place to sit. And we were both getting stressed out. And we were like halfway through our hush puppies, and Jay says, can we just go after this? And I was like, absolutely. So we stopped at the Humane Society because we always have to check in there and pet the kitties and all the puppies and see what's going on. Not that we need another one, but it's always in the back of the head for a kitten. So we try to do stuff that'll downscale both of our anxieties. Different things set us off. I can handle crowds to an extent. Like going to the state fair, it's too much. I don't like rubbing up against hot, sweaty, gross people. That'll kind of set mine off. Jay is more of a just too many people in general. Otherwise, let's see. Jay is one of the leaders for his GSA, which is kind of hard to do because he doesn't go to that school. So when they try to plan things, he doesn't always get included, and I think he's a little frustrated with that. And I understand it. But they have 3 leaders and maybe about 10 people total that show up. So there's probably more leaders than what they need. But he's excited. It's something. It's one of those things he's passionate about, and if my kid's passionate about something, I'm all for it. He's talked about trying to start a GSA group this summer, because as far as support groups go, there's not really anything local for us. You have to commute, so it'd be really nice if we could set something up in Roseville. That way anybody local doesn't have to drive forever, and forever for us is like 30 minutes. So we're trying to look for that. I suggested maybe a church, especially there's a church across town that has rainbow flags flying in front of it. And I thought that would probably be a good place to start. Jay is an atheist, and Jay has no interest in asking a church for space. I'm looking at it from a financial point of view, saying, hey, they might let you do it for free. It never hurts to ask. Otherwise, I'm not sure what our options are, but we'll figure something out. Even if it's something where, maybe on Sunday afternoons, a group of us have to meet at the park or something like that. Just something really, low-key, casual. It doesn't have to be adults. It can be teens or kids, whatever. But we'll get that figured out. And that's kind of his baby to work on. And he's still thinking about getting into public speaking. For some reason, that's the only thing he doesn't have anxiety about when he talks about trans and LGBTQ things. He has no anxiety whatsoever. So that's something he really wants to get into, and we're still working on that. But sometimes his anxiety kicks in when it's about asking questions to strangers about how to do something or following through. So next month we see a psychiatrist, which is going to be a great step. And we will talk to him or her, about meds for anxiety and depression and get that kind of under control and get Jay a little more comfortable in his own skin. And I specifically asked for a psychiatrist who is familiar with transgender kids. So hopefully we can get that behind us, so when Jay is ready to start T or is ready to have surgery, and if that's one of the requirements, then we already have that started. I think in Jay's mind, I'm pushing him too fast, but when he decides to do it, he's going to want to do it then. And at least this is something we'll have already done. We'll be one step ahead of where we need to be. It's not going to hurt to get a little bit ahead. I'm not like dragging him to the doctor to get T or to get surgery. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork right now. Otherwise, school will be out for Allison next month, and Jay will be June 10th, I believe, and then he has a week off, and then he starts summer school, and then he has a week off for July 4th, and then he'll finish up summer school, and he's talking about maybe getting a job. So there's lots of cool things that are going to happen. Technically, well, I shouldn't say technically, that's not the right word. Usually, July is when Jay likes to kind of pronounce and come out that, there's something new with him. 2 years ago he was bi. Last year he was trans. So I have no idea what he has in store for me this July, but I'm sure there's going to be something. Instead of being bi, Jay is ace, or I don't know if you combine the two, but ace is asexual, so they have romantic feelings towards people, but not sexual feelings. It's a little confusing because I've looked into it, and they say, asexual people will still have a sexual relationship with somebody, but they're just not, that's not what drives them, I guess. Jay gets kind of irritated with me because I'll research something, I'll read about it, and then I'll ask him questions like, what do you think? What, can you explain this to me? Is this how you feel? And he just kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, here we go. So I'm sure that's going to be another thing we will discuss on Monday at his therapy session. Otherwise, everything else is going pretty well. I'm going to try, like I said, to make these on a more regular basis. My next one, which will probably be right after this one, or maybe right after lunch, is going to be about this whole bathroom issue and these crazy laws that they're passing about use your birth gender bathroom, which is just not good. So anyway, we'll cover that in my next video. Otherwise, have a great rest of your weekend. It is a rainy, gloomy, gross day today in Roseville, Minnesota, and that's okay because we really need the rain. Anyway, rambled on long enough. I will talk to you later. Bye.